trust. They will build communities. They will build affluence. The UN was created for this moment, not simply as a channel, not merely as a platform, but a next generation African media institution operated from Nigeria, present across every platform that matters: television, digital, streaming, mobile, events, intelligence, one ecosystem built with AI, run by journalists, to inform, built to engage, built to endure, and built to create value generated across multiple avenues: advertising, sponsorship, events, digital products, research, multiple revenues, one institution, one long-term vision. The greatest opportunities are not discovered, they are built. The work of building has already begun. The Lagos studio is taking shape. The vision is coming alive. This is ANN, alive to Africa, alive to the world.
Tinubu suspends APC campaign council list. UK Medical Tribunal sanctions 16 Nigerian doctors. Kwankwaso criticizes APC 2027 campaign council. Nwabueze defends Made in Nigeria office. Uganda, Burundi officials visit Israel over Gaza. Banks account for 92% of NFIU suspicious report. Good afternoon and welcome to Live News Network. I am Salome Oladipo and here are the major stories making headlines. Beginning with the local scene, President Bola Tinubu has ordered the withdrawal and reconstitution of the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council for the 2027 general elections, following concerns raised by party leaders over the initial list released on Saturday. Sources close to the development said Tinubu directed the National Assembly leadership, the APC National Working Committee and the presidency, with his chief of staff as the arrowhead, to work together to address gaps, imbalances and other concerns identified in the initial composition. The development followed criticism over the exclusion of several senior party members and Nigerian campaigners, including Minister of Federal Capital Territory, BK Festus Keyamo, Simon Lalong and National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu from the initial show. The exclusion of Deputy Speaker Representative Benjamin Kalu, the high-ranking political officer holder in the Southeast, as well as Edo State Governor Monday Okwebolo, also reportedly caused dispute within the ruling party. The reconstitution is expected to produce a broad structure that reflects the APC political key stakeholders of the 2027 election. The UK Medical Practitioner Tribunal Service (MPTS) has imposed sanctions on 16 Nigerians working as a medical professional in the United Kingdom within the last 12 months on crimes ranging from rape to theft, fraud, illegal possession of drugs and unauthorized practice after a series of hearings. The MPTS, an adjudication body which conducts hearings and makes decisions on the fitness to practice of doctors referred by, showed that between July 2025 and July 2026, over a dozen Nigerians were referred by the General Medical Council to the tribunal for different offences. The outcome of the proceedings was mostly suspension, as out of the 18 Nigerians, 10 were suspended, 1 was let off with a warning. However, at least 3 others had their names struck off the UK's medical register. Out of politics, former governor of and vice presidential candidate of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, Rabiu Kwankwaso, has criticized the newly constituted All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council for the 2027 general election. According to Kwankwaso, the election is an battle between the oppressed Nigerian masses and political figures who have sustained policy responsible for widespread economic hardship. Kwankwaso argued that the composition of the campaign council, which includes key figures associated with the current administration, gives citizens a clear review of the choices ahead in 2027. The former governor said families are struggling with food inflation and basic cost of living. Young Nigerians face diminishing job opportunities and businesses. Farmers and public service such as healthcare and education remain under severe strain due to ongoing insecurity. Kwankwaso also said that Nigerians must use out victorious in the 2027. He said that if Osun people can do it, so can all other parts of the country. Now to business news. George Nwabuzi, accused by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Committee (ICPC) of promoting a fake federal agency, has defended the status of the National Bronze Development and Made in Nigeria Special Projects Office. Nwabuzi, who describes himself as the National Coordinating Executive Director the project office, posted documents showing that the initiative was linked to the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and has continued to reject the ICPC's allegation that the organization was operating without government authorization. Let's take a look.
Development and Made in Nigeria Special Project Office was promoted by one George Buchi Nwabuzi, was active suspected collaborators in the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Contrary to the act laws without authorization for the President of the Federation, discovered to operate the four other variations of his name: George Nathan Nwabuzi, George Buchi Nwabuzi, Prince George Buchi Nwabuzi, and George Nwabuzi. It has interacted with the Office of the Government of the Federation with a view to ascertaining vital information with regard to the fake agency/office under investigation. I have briefed Mr. President comprehensively on these new developments. ICPC will continue with its investigation.
The document shared by Nwabuzi includes a purported appointment letter dated October 3, 2025 from the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Political and Economic Affairs Office of the OSGF, as well as an earlier letter dated July 19, 2010, which he presented as evidence that the Made in Nigeria initiative had existed for years. The development comes days after the ICPC said President Bola Tinubu ordered the immediate arrest of Nwabuzi, whom the Commission identified as the promoter of the alleged fake office. Outside Nigeria, military officials from Uganda and Burundi visited Israel last week to discuss the plan to Gaza as part of an international security force envisioned by U.S. President Donald Trump's Board of Peace for the fragile ceasefire. A Board of Peace official remarked that Ugandan officials joined the Burundian military delegation as Uganda is finalizing details of its participation after its parliament approved the troop contribution this month. Meanwhile, nothing has been finalized with Burundi, but the official said they look forward to starting the process. It was not clear what Uganda or Burundi might be offering or what they might receive in return, but spokesperson for the military did not respond to request for comment. Finally, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit has disclosed that banks, fintech companies, and other reporting entities submitted 42,082 suspicious transaction reports to the agency in 2025. The figure was contained in the NFRU's 2025 annual report, which highlighted continued risk to Nigeria's financial system and increased regulatory monitoring of transactions. The agency also received 41,716,214 currency transaction reports and 10,513 suspicious activity reports during the year. You said it reported a framework of transactions, suspicious transactions and activity, as well as regulatory submissions relating to anti-money laundering, counterterrorism financing, and counter-preparation financing compliance. It noted that it collaborates with the Central Bank of Nigeria, National Insurance Commission, Securities Exchange Commission, and Special Control Unit against money laundering to ensure that reporting entities comply with applications. Deposit money banks accounted for the bulk of SCR filings, admitted 38,715 reports, representing about 92% of the total received the various sectors. And that's the latest from a live news network. I'm Salemi Aladikbo. Thanks for watching.
Africa is changing. Its influence is growing. Its economies are evolving. Its digital future is accelerating. Today, more than 1.5 billion people call Africa home. Hundreds of millions are already connected. And by 2050, the continent will be home to more than 2.5 billion people. Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, drives this population growth and mass connectivity. The epic center of opportunity. Africa's scale and Nigeria's growing population create a rare long-term investment opportunity. But opportunity alone changes nothing. Execution matters because media has changed. Audiences have moved. Attention has fragmented. Trust has become scarce. The institutions that matter in the future will not simply distribute content. They will build trust. They will build communities. They will build influence. ANN was created for this moment. Not simply as a channel, not merely as a platform, but as a next-generation African media institution, operating from Nigeria, present across every platform that matters: television, digital, streaming, mobile, events, intelligence, one ecosystem, built with AI, run by journalists, built to inform, built to engage, built to endure, and built to create value generated across multiple revenue streams: advertising, sponsorship, events, digital products, research, multiple revenues, one institution, one long-term vision. The greatest opportunities are not discovered, they are built. The work of building has already begun. The Lagos studio is taking shape. The vision is coming alive. This is ANN, a live